Good morning. Thank you for joining me for Monday morning devotion. Being a mom has been one of my greatest joys in life. I have absolutely 100% loved being a mom. I've loved my children through every season, from infancy through adulthood. I know I wasn't always perfect, but I certainly loved raising a family, and I'm very thankful and feel very blessed that I was given the opportunity to do so. As we all know, though, being a mother has many challenges. All the various hats that we wear throughout the day, running from morning till night, with rarely a moment for ourselves, can be overwhelming at times. Recently, I heard a recording with Darlene Check and Anna Smith about motherhood and their experiences. And there were 3 points that they shared that I felt are worth repeating. These are things that are helpful for us to know as a mom. The first one was, which applies to any age of a mom, from a mom with a young child for moms with adult children, is that we need someone to come alongside of us. We seriously cannot know everything, and we often, as moms, put so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect, but this is just absolutely not possible. Having another person in our life who has our best interest in mind, who has our back, so to speak, who we respect is important. Having God in our life is important too. Having the Holy Spirit to guide us and lead us through every season of parenting is wonderful. In allowing ourselves to bring things to Him in prayer, we often find that He will direct us and give us wisdom that's beyond our years and beyond our experience. Sometimes this advice does come from someone we respect. Sometimes it comes from something that we observe, or from something we have read, or from God bringing something to remembrance that we learned a long time ago that now applies to the current situation that we are facing. Each child that we have is so different, and what works for one does not work for another. I have often said that it would be wonderful if our children were born with a set of instructions that was specific for them. Finding someone you respect, even if it is not your own mom, to give you the support and advice that you need with all the questions of raising a child is extremely helpful. Their second point was setting boundaries with your children so they know what is important to you. They know what to expect. These are the non-negotiables in life, like manners. I love it when my daughter is teaching my grandson to say thank you and please. She's impressing upon him early in life that manners are important. Church may be important to you. Respect for the elderly, bedtime, education, amount of time set for TV, devices, and games, and so on. This is your opportunity to impress upon your children principles and a lifestyle that you value for them. The third point is be flexible. I wasn't expecting this one, but it is important that we are reminded to be flexible. While rules are very good and it's nice to have a predictable day, but as we learn from any job in life that we have, there may be a need at time to be flexible and to go with the flow. Sometimes rules are meant to be bent a little when circumstances arise that cannot be helped. Don't be so hard on yourself. We all need to live in the moment at times. Sometimes motherhood becomes a competition where we're comparing ourselves with others too much. Just do your best and enjoy the journey. Be flexible. In thinking about a mother in the Bible that I admire, the women that first came to my mind for some reason today was Lois and Eunice. They were Timothy's mom and grandmother. They're not very well known, but they are such great examples to us. Paul is writing a letter to Timothy, who is at this point a young man in the faith, and he tells him this: I am reminded of your sincere faith, which first lived in your grandmother Lois and your mother Eunice, and I am persuaded now lives in you also. Since more is caught than taught at times, I really believe that Eunice and Lois, living out their life of faith in front of their son Timothy, influenced his later decision in his life to grow in his faith and love for God. All of that matters most. In light of eternity, living for God matters most. What a tribute to Lois and Eunice. We didn't learn about their latest parenting skills or how they were when Timothy was a young child, but we learned about how they over time influenced his faith and love for God. In the Bible, they get one sentence. They are not in the who's of women. They are not often thought about when someone is listing the women of the Bible, but they made such an impression on Apostle Paul that he wrote about them in his letter to Timothy. Whether you are a mother or not, you have the opportunity daily to make an impression on others. What kind of impression are you making on others for the gospel's sake? Do they see Jesus in you, or are you full of yourself and your own ways? Evie Turnquist in the 80s sang a gospel song called Live for Jesus. The words were, live for Jesus, that's what matters. And when other houses crumble, mine is strong. Live for Jesus, that's what matters. That you see the light in me and come along. May that light in you be Jesus. I realize Mother's Day can be a good holiday for some and not a so good holiday for others, depending on the memories that you have. Whatever your situation, you may not realize it, but you have the opportunity every day to make an impression on someone. May it be said of you and to me that we lived out all the seasons of life with sincere faith, like Eunice and Lois. May you have a blessed week. I look forward to seeing you next Monday.